I can almost guarantee that you are going to want to update the content after your first round of students go through it. And when you've had it professionally filmed, it becomes a lot harder to edit that content because you can't just jump in and quickly edit the slides and quickly re-record it. Welcome to Imperfect Action. I'm Steph Taylor. For years, I read all the books, downloaded all the freebies, and did all the courses. But it wasn't until I started taking imperfect action that my business had its first $1 million year. Imperfect action is about doing things before you're ready, prioritizing consistent action over perfect action, and moving forward, even when you're not sure you're doing it right. On this show, you can expect mindset advice, actionable marketing tips, and strategies to build a business that brings you more profit, more freedom, and even more joy. Are you on the list to get my daily Biz Boosters? Every day, I'll send you a bite-sized prompt designed to help you grow your business in a more intentional way. Sign up at stephtaylor.co/DBB or at the link in the show notes. Hey, welcome back to Imperfect Action. This is episode 656. Today, I'm sharing 6 essential tools for creating and selling digital courses online. Now, this is one of the most common questions that I get asked all the time is, how do you create them? How do you sell them? What tech is involved? What is the best tech for all of this? So in today's episode, I'm sharing the one tool that I use for hosting and selling digital courses, the tool that I use to design workbooks and slides, how I record and edit my videos, the platform that I use to deliver live webinars when I launch, what I use to deliver live Q&As and hot seat calls, and how I take submissions for Q&A calls, so question submissions for Q&A calls, and how I keep track of the ones that I have answered in the past. Now, before we jump into the full-on tools and get into the techie stuff, I just want to remind you of this concept of putting the cart before the horse, okay? The tools are the cart. They don't matter as much as the horse. So your tools don't matter as much as what the offer is. The tools that you are using to host the course don't matter as much as what problem the offer solves, who it's for, how you communicate it to the right people. You don't need to spend weeks researching which is the best platform to host your course or the best tool to record it and edit it. You're much better spent putting that time towards actually getting a really clear idea of who is this for? How am I communicating it to them in a way that makes them prioritize it? Okay? Those things are going to have a much bigger impact on how well it sells than whether you host it on Kajabi or Teachable or Thinkific. Okay? So now I've also turned this episode into a cheat sheet. If you DM me tools, just the one word, just tools on Instagram, I'm over there at stephtaylor.co. I will send you the cheat sheet of this episode with my complete list of tools for creating and selling digital products. I will also include a link to some Canva templates that you can buy for course slides and workbooks, because I've come across quite a few really awesome templates, and I know that this is something that a lot of you ask, like, how can I find templates for workbooks and slides and all of that? So I will link those in there as well. Okay, so the very first tool I'm going to talk about, the one that I use for hosting and selling my digital courses, is Kajabi. And honestly, if I had to pick just one tool to run my entire business, it would be this one. Yeah, it does checkouts, sales pages, it can do your email marketing, you can build your email list on here, it hosts your course videos, it makes them so that the random people can't just download them and share them and sell them to other people. It creates a course portal with a login so your students can log in and access all of the courses that they've purchased from you. It's really nice. It's neat. It's not the cheapest option out there, but I also believe that if you expect your audience to invest in you, you need to invest in delivering a great experience for them. Okay? You know, there's this whole concept that a great thing that I picked up from James Wedmore when I was at his event in Phoenix recently was, are you being the client that you wish to attract? So if you expect somebody to invest in you, if you want to attract people who invest in your offers, then you need to invest in your offers. Okay? So Kajabi is really good at creating that nice, smooth experience for your clients. And the layout of the course portal, so the one that your students see when they log in, I think it's much more user-friendly. It's easier to navigate than a lot of other platforms. I've been a student of many courses and I've been on the experiencing end of other hosting platforms. And I think Kajabi is just always miles ahead, right? And that means it makes your students' experience so much better. The next tool on the list for designing slides and workbooks, I don't think you can beat Canva. Unless you're a graphic designer and you're really well versed in using InDesign, I think Canva is going to be the simplest option. There are so many great templates that you can buy for Canva, and I've included some of those in the free cheat sheet, which you can grab if you DM me tools on Instagram at stephtaylor.co. I will send you the cheat sheet with the list of all of these tools, as well as some links to templates that you can buy and you can edit really easily to suit your brand. The other great thing about Canva is that many virtual assistants are now also familiar with Canva, which means that if designing things isn't your cup of tea, if you don't like editing templates, you don't like doing anything design focused, you can get the workbook and slide creation task off your plate. Although I would pretty much always suggest that you give somebody a template to work with unless they are a professional designer who already knows how to design a really effective worksheet or slide deck for a course. Then the next one on the list, the next tool on the list for recording and editing videos, and that is Descript. We love this tool in my team. Like, this is what we use for everything that is recording audio and video. And, I don't believe that you need to spend thousands of dollars getting your digital course professionally filmed, especially if it's the very first time that you are teaching it, because I can almost guarantee that you are going to want to update the content after your first round of students go through it. And when you've had it professionally filmed, it becomes a lot harder to edit that content because you can't just jump in and quickly edit the slides and quickly re-record it. No, you have to rebook the person who filmed it and get it professionally edited again, and it becomes really expensive. So even though it might look nicer, it's actually compromising the student's experience because the content might not be the most up to date. So like I said, we use Descript to record podcast episodes, but I also use it for recording course videos. Okay, it's really good for basic video editing. My team can edit it easily. I can record myself speaking over slides. I can record a video of myself direct to camera and then edit it really easily because as I'm speaking, it transcribes the recording and my team can just highlight the bits that they want to delete, like a text editor, and it deletes that out of the video. And you can honestly just use your webcam, or if you want to get a slightly better video quality, you can buy an external webcam. I use the Lumina Pro. I love that one. The Elgato Facecam is also really good. And both of those will just give you a slightly better video quality than your built-in webcam. Although saying that, the new Macs, they have really good built-in webcams, so you might not even need an external one if you're using a new Mac laptop. Okay, the next tool for launching with a live webinar. Now, if you've been listening to this show for a while, you know that I am a big fan of live webinars. I believe they are a really quick way to build know, like, and trust with your audience, and a really quick way to nurture them to the point where they are ready to buy your offer. So where I run my live webinars, I use the tool Demio, D-E-M-I-O. It has been my favorite webinar platform so far. I have tried a lot of them. I've tried pretty much all of them, all of the major ones. And Demio has been the easiest to use. It's been the most user-friendly. It also delivers a great experience for my attendees. It's a really neat experience with a nice chat. It just all looks really nice for them. But I don't use Demio for delivering Q&As inside my actual courses. Demio is if I'm doing a launch with a webinar and I know there's going to be a couple of hundred people there, that's when I will use Demio. But if I'm delivering the live Q&As and the hot seat calls inside my courses and programs, I will use Zoom. Now, we use Zoom a lot in this business, as I'm sure many of you do as well. And that's because most of our audience is really familiar with Zoom. So it removes any of the friction that comes up when it comes to adding calls to calendar or finding the link to show up or downloading the latest update, figuring out how to use the chat. Most people are familiar with it, so they already know how to do these things. Now, that is where I will do the Q&A calls. And if I'm teaching any live lessons as part of a program, I will also teach those using Zoom. I will share my screen, share my slides, And that way they can see me, they can see my slides, and they can ask me questions. And then the last tool is for collecting Q&A questions, so submissions of questions to answer in the Q&A, and then keeping track of which questions I have answered and when. And we use Airtable for that at the moment. We could probably also integrate it into ClickUp, which is where all of our task management lives. Now, we have this beautiful Q&A form for Launch Magic where students can submit their questions ahead of time for me to answer on the calls, and for Freedom Fast Track where they can submit their challenges that they're experiencing in their business, and they can workshop those in a hot seat with me. So how that works is we're on that Zoom call, and I will have a list of who has challenges they want to workshop. And then we go through that list and I unmute them. We spend a couple of minutes workshopping their challenges. Like they're getting basically one-on-one coaching from me for, sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer, just depending on how many we need to get through in that call and how in-depth each question or each challenge is. And then what we do is we go through that list of questions or challenges and we tag them afterwards as answered so that I can see which questions have been answered and which ones haven't. And this really helps me to see where people are getting stuck with the actual curriculum or with the content in the courses. Where do they need more support? Where do I need to tweak the content? What do I need to change? And that is how you create a course that delivers what your audience really needs, by being flexible and by being open to tweaking things. So there you have it, the 6 tools that I use to create and sell my digital courses. I will put these together for you in a cheat sheet. DM me tools on Instagram. I'm over there at stephtaylor.co, and I will send you this cheat sheet with my complete list of the tools for creating and selling digital courses, as well as a link to some handy templates that you can buy for course slides and workbooks. If you've learned anything from this show so far, please take 30 seconds to leave a quick rating and a review. I've been noticing a lot more coming through lately, which makes me really happy when that email arrives in my inbox every Tuesday morning, showing me which new reviews I've got because I get to read them all. So take 30 seconds, means a lot to me. Thank you so much for listening. Catch you next time.